NASCAR Xfinity Series race has officially concluded from Portland International Raceway, and Shane Van Gisbergen has won his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series race. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, the NASCAR Xfinity Series race has officially concluded, and Shane Van Gisbergen has officially won his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Coming into the weekend, I picked him to win because we saw how good he was at Circuit of the Americas. And he started this weekend off being really fast in practice. He had probably, I think, the fastest car in practice early in the event. Then we get to the race. He qualifies on the front row and starts in second position. Then makes a mistake at turn number one. A lot of people thought Riley Herbst got into him. Riley Herbst never had contact with Shane. Shane gets a little bit loose and unfortunately spins out Sam Mayer on lap number one. And Shane drops back, I think, to about second or third position. But his car was extremely good on the long run. He started passing drivers like Chandler Smith and Josh Bilicki and Justin Allgaier and eventually got to the lead and dominated early. But then they made a really weird, strange pit call on lap 22 or 23 of the race where they came down pit road. Now, with the non-competitive pit stops for this weekend at Portland, you had to come down pit road and stay there for at least 63 seconds. If you didn't do that, you were going to be penalized. Well, they were the only one that took the strategy, which I was a little surprised they took it because they weren't going to get any stage points. But the big benefit for them is they stayed out at the end of the stage and restarted as a leader. Unfortunately, they got a bad restart at the start of stage number 2 and dropped back 4 or 5 positions, had a ton of contact, got into Cole Custer, got a ton of damage, and they fell back to about 5th or 6th position. But then Shane started moving back up. He started passing drivers like Cole Custer and Josh Bilicki again, and then got up as far as 3rd position. But then he made a mistake and went off-road and off-excursion and lost and dropped all the way back down to 9th position. But then he started making up a few more positions and got by Sage Karam. I think maybe also had Jones, but not mistaken, and got back up inside the top 5 and top 6. And coming to the end of stage number 2, Shane Van Gisbergen would be up to 5th position and score himself 6 stage points, which is something that he has struggled to do majority of the year. Then we get the start of stage number 3, and Shane is back as far as 6th position on the restart. But we saw how good his car was on the long run. He dropped back a little bit, actually had a bad pit stop, restarted 10th, but methodically as stage number 3 continued on, Shane was starting to make passes and started moving forward and started getting up to the front. Eventually passed all the drivers and moved up inside the top 5. Then we had a caution come out about 13 laps ago with Shane up to about 3rd position because a big one struck where Chandler Smith blew an engine, Brandon Jones, Blaine Perkins crashed, Andre Castro crashed, and the other caution was for Haley Deegan, by the way. But a lot of drivers ended up crashing, and that helped his chances there. Then we get to the restart with 8 to 9 laps to go, and Shane is right there on the back bumper of Justin Allgaier, and on the final restart with 5 to go, gets a huge run on Justin Allgaier, gets to the outside, makes the pass, and gets by Justin Allgaier. They're beating and banging up front, and he gets the lead. The one thing Shane has been able to do all year long is he's been able to make those moves to the outside, and kind of like how you do in V8 Supercars, he made the shove move to the outside back to the end, how he did at Chicago, and that's what got him the race lead. And Justin kept distance. He was very, very quick, and Sam Mayer was keeping distance as well. And Justin was staying right behind him and making up a ton of ground. But Shane held everything together, and coming to the white flag, Shane Van Gisbergen had about a 3 to 4 10-second lead over Justin Allgaier. But Shane got off the final corner very, very well, got a great run going down into turn number 2 straightaway, and pulled out to about a 1.3 second lead, got a pretty big gap, and coming off the final corner, Shane Van Gisbergen has won his 2nd NASCAR race altogether and his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I thought Shane Van Gisbergen was going to struggle at the ovals at the start of the year. But every race, when he struggles, he bounces back and gets better. And I expected him to be really strong this weekend at Portland. He was my pick coming into Portland because of how strong that 97 team has really, really been. And they got it done this weekend. They had a lot of excursions. They made mistakes, but they bounced back from them, and they were able to finally get that victory. And I'm telling you what, I think this is going to be the first of many wins for Shane Van Gisbergen this season. I think he's going to go out and win a couple more road courses. If they can find a way to find the pace on the ovals and even the super speedways as well, I think that could eventually lead Shane to going out there and winning at those types of tracks. And he's got some cup races scheduled. We got Chicago coming up where I think he could sweep the weekend there. We've got Sonoma next weekend, which is a really, really good track for Shane. He did the wheel force tester recently, so he's got a big advantage over a lot of drivers in this series. And I think you've got to put him as a favorite for next weekend as well. Now, Kaulig Racing still needs to find a little more pace and speed on the other tracks if he's going to go out there and compete for a championship, because right now, well, yes, this is a huge step in the right direction for Shane, and it's a huge win for him. Not just for him, though. You think about his sponsors, Red Bull. You think about, of course, Wendy's, among other companies that work with him. He's still got work to do to try to compete for a championship, but he's been getting better as years progress, and he's been in playoff contention. If not for that penalty he received at Dakota, right now he would be in on points. He was very impressive today, got a lot of stage points, and with some drivers ahead of him in the cutoff line having trouble in today's race, he was able to capitalize on it. I have not been this happy about a win since probably Kyle Larson's championship win 3 years ago. I've been a Shane Van Gisbergen fan these last few years. When it was announced a few years ago that he was going to get the chance and the opportunity to race in Chicago, I was really, really excited because I knew how good he was from the supercar world. And to see that he's committed as much as he has to get better, he doesn't go do go-karts, among other things, and try to perform as best he can. That's all we ask for him. And ultimately, the big goal for next year is to go Cup Series racing. And I think winning the race today at Portland is really going to help his chances and opportunity to move up to the Cup Series in 2025. Obviously, Trackhouse is looking to go have 3 cars next year. I think the big question is going to be it's between Zane Smith and SVG. Who gets that 3rd seat? My best guess is probably going to be Zane, but I could see Shane going to Kaulig since we know Kaulig is not downsizing next year at this current moment. But going back to today's performance, he did an excellent job today. He did a very great job. He's been getting better as year progresses. First win of the year, and I don't think this is going to be the last time that Shane's going to victory lane. I think he could win next week at Sonoma. He was so impressive, and he didn't have the best car. That's the thing. Shane had probably the fastest car, but I don't think he had the best car. Justin Allgaier, and I think a couple of other guys like Riley Herbst were better at points in this race. But they got better, and he just did what he needed to do. He's an incredible talent, and to see him finally win his first Xfinity Series race is absolutely incredible. I knew the win was coming sooner rather than later, but to see it finally happen, congratulations to him on getting his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win. He earned it, and I'm so happy for Shane. He's earned this win. First career win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Absolutely outstanding, and I can't wait to follow the rest of their journey the rest of this year. Now the big question is, can he win more races? Absolutely. Can he compete? Who knows at this point? Nonetheless, once again, though, congratulations to Shane Van Gisbergen on finally winning his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So, that is good for today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from Portland and Shane Van Gisbergen. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Let's go some more of that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What do you think about Shane Van Gisbergen's win? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the NASCAR Cup Series race review. Potentially, though, I'm going to be at the track, so you'll see the starting lineup video. You'll see drivers like Bubba Wallace, of course, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, all competing, and also Brad Keselowski as well. Then on Monday, there potentially could be a NASCAR news video. We'll talk about Carl Edwards and Junior Motorsports, among other things, maybe Kurt Busch as well. We'll talk about all that tomorrow on the channel. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. So happy for Shane to finally get that first career NASCAR Xfinity Series victory. Take care, everybody.